Welcome to the Village Vision podcast, where community, collaboration, and care converge. I'm Dr. Crystal Morrison, and I'm honored to be your host on this incredible journey. As a firm believer in the power of a united village, I'm thrilled to bring you inspiring stories, research, and projects that break down barriers in child and family care. Through heartfelt conversations with experts, advocates, and those with lived experiences, we'll showcase the transformative impact of collective support. So join me on the Village Vision podcast as we explore the remarkable collaborations that lead to better outcomes, foster a sense of community, and inspire action to improve care for ourselves and everyone around us. So can you share with our listeners a little bit about your personal story and the why behind your work?
Yeah, so really, in a nutshell, it's just God called me to this, right?
Mhm.
I was a homeschool mom for almost 20 years. And then a few years ago, several years ago, I think it's been about 6 years now,
Mhm.
God said, put your kids in school. So I had seven left that I was schooling at home. And he said, get them into the school system. And he sent me through 2 years of Bible school. Then he's like, as COVID hit, my kids all came home. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm homeschooling again. Plus, my husband was out of town working more than he was home at that time.
Mhm.
But God brought up to me becoming a life coach.
I have lots of friends who are doing this sort of thing, but tell me, and our listeners a little bit more about the faith-based life coaching that you're doing, what your work looks like.
Yeah, so it looks like helping people and specifically leaders because I know that if the leaders can get the vision,
Mhm.
get have chains broken off or weights lifted off of them, that they can help the people that they are leading as well, right?
Mhm.
In a more effective way. So some of the things that I do and what that can look like is helping people align with the covenant of God, which is the word of God, so that they can live the full and abundant lives that God has said we can have as
Mhm.
believers, right?
Who are your clients typically? Who are you typically working with?
Yeah, so I work with business leaders,
Mhm.
mostly women at this point, but I
Mhm.
know that I will, move into another section with males as well. But um, so helping pastors' wives, business women with families,
Mhm.
you know, because even though I wasn't specifically in business, we had our own business during the
Yeah,
time I was raising all the kids, but a family, I was delegating, I was,
it's a business.
the home. Yeah, it is, even though I didn't realize it at the time.
Mhm.
But yeah, ministry leaders, just women that want to go to the next level.
So, can you talk a little bit about that aspect and how that relationship between opening hearts and involvement in the community?
Yeah, it's interesting because this just came up specifically the other night as we were visiting with a pastor.
Uh-huh.
And some of the focus tends to be from the church. It's just been what we've known. That doesn't mean there isn't a space for people serving in the church itself, but what if it's so much bigger to create events in the community that
Right.
are helping people do the next thing?
Mhm.
There's so much that we're called to that the church hasn't recognized in the past. So
I
it's people stuck.
right. I think that's so tremendous that a lot of people do have a perspective that in order to serve the church, they're only allowed to serve in the church. And that, you can serve as a coach, a volunteer, different roles in the community in different ways. And I think that's what's so important about your message, and really because it is a limiting belief, don't you think that limiting belief that church are is four walls, and this congregation in this town, in this county, in this state, and that's where you're at, right? Those are limiting beliefs, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Jackie, I know that you're an author, and you also provide coaching services as well. So tell the audience a little bit more about how they can find your books and how they can find you and stay in touch with you and your work.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, so I am in the process of building a website, but it's not quite done yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I have an email address, JackieDiggins@gmail.com. Diggins is Dighans, and Jackie is Jackie. So JackieDiggins@gmail.com.
Wonderful.
Also, my books are on Amazon. And so they can find them there, or they can message me through Messenger or email me for a link that I can get them to purchase my books. I have a devotional style out there. It's called What If You Believed?
Okay.
And then a book called Covered, Living in Triumphal, Going Through Trials. And that one has a study guide along with it so that groups can go through it, or individuals.
Oh, that's wonderful.